I just came from Brazil, and I'm telling you, the power of the kingdom is expanding. I went there, and all of my books are in Portuguese. They're buying them all over the place. And we went 5,000 people in a day session, and it was awesome. Matter of fact, look at the screens for a minute. If you can switch the screens, I want to show you some of the things that took place. I'm telling you, the influence of the kingdom is everywhere. It's everywhere. And Brazil, as you know, is a very, very massive country. Matter of fact, Brazil is 200 million people live in Brazil. 200 million people live in Brazil. Brazil is almost as large as the United States. And it is larger than the United States in land mass, but the population is 200 million. And those people are all kinds of different hues and all kinds of different colors. There are a massive group of people in Brazil that are African black people who are your cousins. They live in northern Brazil, and they've been begging me to come to Brazil, to that part of Brazil, which I'll be going back there in July. And we had an awesome time there. The people in Brazil are very, very industrious. There's water on most of their coast, and so they're highly involved in fishing. And the traffic in Rio de Janeiro and in Sao Paulo are massive. Those cities alone are like 20 million people in one city. How many in the Bahamas? 300,000. One of their cities got 20 million. And the beaches, of course, you heard about Copacabana and all those wonderful beaches in Brazil. Well, this is the area where they have the big carnival all the time. Over 1 million people are in the street on parade. Another 6 million watching them. And it's amazing that we have the hunger of those people in their hearts. And they want to see God's will done. The land of beaches. You thought the Bahamas had great beaches. Brazil got beautiful beaches. And people are all over Brazil. Poverty in Brazil is very, very high, but so is wealth. And the wealth is a result of the oil and the fine stones that they have there. Matter of fact, Brazil is known for the wealth of precious gems like emerald and sapphire. Matter of fact, they're the largest supply of those kinds of stones. Brazil is also a country where the people love pleasure. They just love to go on the beach, and a lot of carnal things takes place in Brazil. But the hunger of the church there is amazing. I was invited there to speak in Sao Paulo, and then took a flight also to Rio de Janeiro and got to meet with the pastors and the leaders there. I was welcomed to the Brazil by a congressman who stayed with me all day, and I was held up in the immigration for a few hours because my passport is in the Chinese embassy getting a Chinese visa, and I was traveling on a travel document, and they didn't recognize this document. They said they'd never seen the document before. And so the chief of immigration called me in the office. He says, you know, we can't let you in because we never saw the document before, so you don't have a passport. So I said, that's fine, I can go back home. He said, where are you from? I said, I'm from the Bahamas. He said, what do you do? I said, I go around the world helping people discover what life is all about. He looked at me. He said, what do you mean? I said, I hold seminars that connect people to their real purpose in life. He said, come, follow me. Took me in another office with two other gentlemen in uniform, and he says, do what you can to help this man. Then they picked the phone and called the congressman. The congressman came down from the headquarters of the government and came in and shook my hand. And the congressman stayed with me all day for those hours. They sent my name to Brasilia, to the Congress, up to the foreign minister, and sent a fax to the president. And the president sent a fax back from his office saying, let the man in. Next week, I'm going to show you documents signed by the chief minister of foreign affairs, telling them, it actually says, do not restrict this ambassador. So God is awesome. And greeting me at the airport also was our Twyla director, who is Joaquim Cantagalli. The Lord has healed this man. He is doing so good. And he stayed there with me all day, as well as our director in the office down there. Fernando is director of our businesses for BFM and Atwila in Brazil. And he's responsible for overseeing all of our book distribution and working with our publishing companies there, doing a great job. And my translator, who was a wonderful pastor who actually lives in Florida, but he's from Brazil. And he went and with me and stayed all the time, speaking everywhere I went, interpreting me. They welcomed me in Brazil with tremendous welcome. I mean, there were about 5,000 people in the first session waiting for me. Over 300 pastors were there. And they gave me a plaque thanking me for being the kingdom distributor, they call it in Brazil. The kingdom distributor. I like that. Not Amway distributor, but kingdom. Give God a praise for kingdom distributor. That's a new name I got. Praise God. Beautiful plaque they gave me in Portuguese. And this is a shot of the place. You couldn't get in this place. It was packed to the roots, and we had a tremendous time. The worship in Brazil is awesome. Of course, they're Latin people, so their worship is a little bit, kind of nice. So we're going to take Brother Mark down there to pick up some moves. The dancers down there were wonderful, of course. The Latin people are very, very emotional. They're very, very active physically. So the dancing there is beautiful. And the worship was awesome. We had a wonderful time. The pastor